The dead money cap charge drops nearly in half. If he's traded after June 1st, he could get fined over $90,000 for missing mandatory minicamp. Green Bay can fine him $50,000 for each day of training camp. And Gutekunst has admitted that he should have communicated better with Rodgers before he traded up to take Love at number 26 in the 2020 draft. Stephen A., is there anything that Green Bay can do at this point to change Aaron Rodgers' mind?
I don't believe so. I mean, I'll leave myself open to being corrected about the possibilities, and we'll get into Julio Jones and others later, and we'll do all of that. But I'll leave myself open to that possibility. But my mentality is no, because let's understand what Aaron Rodgers is saying. He's talking about from a cultural perspective, he doesn't like what he's seeing from the organization. Now, let's take this thing into consideration. Right now, this is the reigning league MVP. I believe it's his third league MVP award. I believe the record that he has as the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers is 126, 63-1. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's taken them to the conference championship game at least 4 times, at least 4 or 5 times. This guy has been universally recognized as arguably the greatest talent we've ever seen at the quarterback position. And for the better part of a decade, this man has carried the franchise on his back. You got rid of Jordy Nelson against his wishes. You fired his quarterbacks coach, Alex Van Pelt, a few years back after they finished 7-9 without consulting him. You've made a plethora of decisions without consulting him. He comes to you and talks to you, and you basically tell him, shut the hell up and go play football. You play football, we run this organization. This is how you treat a star. This is how you treat a star in Green Bay if you're Mark Murphy. This is how you treat a star in Green Bay if you're Mr. Gutekunst. This is how you treat a star in Green Bay if you're the coach, Matt LaFleur, which basically is not really his fault because he just got there and he's got to coincide with the organization. But damn it, you didn't have to take the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands at the in the fourth quarter on a 4th down when Tom Brady's standing on the other side of the field. All things are not created equal. And when you have a star that delivers the goods like he did, you don't summarily dismiss him and ignore his wishes. You know why? Because that is a powder keg waiting to explode. At some point in time, this man ain't going to be as passive aggressive. He going to get like Stephen A. And he going to sit up there and speak out. Very, very damn aggressive. And he's going to say, to hell with this. Enough's enough. I'm not taking it anymore. And everybody going to be put on notice. That's what he ain't done that yet. He's still got that step to do. He hasn't done that yet. Look out. Let them keep messing with him. You better let him go.
First of all, I like the fact that Aaron Rodgers showed up for Kenny Mayne, one of the best who ever did it.
On his final Sports Center.
Yep. Yes. Let me say this. What Gutekunst has to do, because I disagree with you, Stephen A., I think they can salvage it. What Gutekunst has to do is show up and, in the words of Happy Gilmore to Chubbs, I was wrong, you were right. I'm stupid, you're smart. You're the best, I'm the worst. You're very good looking, I'm not very attractive. He has to do the Happy Gilmore, like, not just be like, yeah, maybe I could have done better. No, Gutekunst, no. Gutekunst is a good GM. He's a good GM, period. He constructed a good team. But now is the time where he has to humble himself and with real humility go to Aaron Rodgers, hat in hand, hat in one hand, contract in the other, and say, here's my hat, I'll eat it, and here's the contract that makes you the highest paid quarterback, guaranteed money ever. I hope you sign it. And if he does that, I think if Rodgers surveys the landscape, he'll see, take every quarterback off every team. Packers give him one of the best chances to win in the NFL. It's the team he's played for his entire career. And Stephen A., if his problem is the culture, the attitude they have, then address it, correct it, and hope that he comes on board. Because I think that has a shot to work.
But you do get to a point where you can't correct the culture. At some point in time, you are who you are. No matter what you try, no matter what modifications you try to implement into the proceedings, no matter what crumbs you try to throw into the equation to give the impression that you've changed, you are what you are. And you know when you find out who people really are? When they have the power. See, Gutekunst was in control, and Aaron Rodgers wasn't saying much at all. He marched along, he got his contract, he went out on the field, he strived to perform. And while you knew he was doing that, what did you do? You took him for granted. Did you listen to him when he was quiet, even though he came to you privately? No. Did you heed his words? Did you pay attention to him? Did you take heed to the fact that, yo, the brother ain't happy? And this is the man for this franchise. We in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Greek Freak's about an hour and 15 minutes away, if I remember correctly. This ain't basketball. This is football town. This is the town that Lombardi built. You understand what I'm saying? It's winning or nothing. Winning is everything. Okay, Aaron Rodgers comes, succeeding Brett Favre, by the way, shows up and basically makes you just sit up there and look at Brett Favre like, we appreciate what you did, but a new era has arrived. Because he's that elite. That's what Aaron Rodgers brought to the table. And while all of that's going on and he's producing for you, you sit up there and you summarily dismiss him. There does come a point, Max, where you sit up there and you don't give a damn what they say. Because guess what? You have been ignored for far too long.
That's one of the things that Gutekunst needs to address directly with Rodgers. Because what you just said, the Packers way, they'll get rid of Brett Favre. Brett Favre still had football left. He was still really good. They were like, oh, we got Rodgers.
Don't compare the two. That wasn't a talent issue with Brett Favre.
It was the issue with Brett Favre is he was getting old. How many more years could he be?
No, Max.
Hold on.
Go ahead. But that's not true.
And we have a guy waiting in the wings.
But that's not true.
What's not true?
Brett Favre kept saying he wanted to retire. They were like this, damn, make up your mind.
But he could still really play. They just had a guy waiting in the wings.
But they would say
the same.
Max, it's football.
Traditionally in the NFL, Joe Montana doesn't end up a 49er. It doesn't matter how great you are. You could wind up on another team when they don't think you have horizons that are very long.
Brett Favre is one of the greats.
Yeah.
We understand that. Tell me one person in the history of the National Football League at the quarterback position who alluded year after year after year to wanting to retire more than Brett Favre.
But was that after they got Aaron Rodgers? That I don't remember the details. Was it after they got Aaron Rodgers that he said he wanted to retire, or before, and then they brought Aaron Rodgers?
They drafted Rodgers in the first round of 2005.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is after that, Brett Favre, because he had absorbed so much punishment, Molly, he had spent season after season every year.
Yes, I remember that. I was at NFL Network.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if I want to play.